afternoon.
Dear friends, my name is Archana. On behalf of all the devotees at the Vivekananda Vedanta Society from the West Suburbs area of Naperville, I would like to welcome all to our Bhagavad Gita class, first of the monthly class series. We are extremely fortunate to have with us Swami Ishatmananda, President of Vivekananda Vedanta Society of Chicago, which is a branch of the Ramakrishna Mission. Many of you have met and know the revered Swamiji. For those of you who are new, it is my blessed opportunity to take a couple of minutes to introduce the revered Swamiji. Swamiji is a monk of the Ramakrishna order, having taken initiation from revered Swami Vivekananda Maharaj, the 10th president of the order. He served at the Advaita Ashrama, the publication center of the Ramakrishna Mission in Kolkata, India for 12 years. He took sannyasa in 1986 from revered Swami Vivekananda Maharaj, the 11th president of the order. He has worked at the well-known educational institution of the Ramakrishna Mission in Purulia, West Bengal. He has rendered his services at times of natural calamities in Assam, West Bengal, and Orissa. Swamiji is the founder secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission, Port Blair, Andaman Islands, where he built a home for the destitute and orphans and constructed two huge buildings, Nana Mandir and Karma Mandir, that house a national level competitive examination coaching center and a vocational center respectively. Swami Ishatmananda was also the principal secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission School, Narottam Nagar, Tirap, Arunachal Pradesh, an educational institution situated in the deep jungle of Tirap district. It basically runs on the Gurukul system with 4 English medium schools for more than 500 tribal students. It also has a 20-bed hospital, Swasti, and the Vishwakarma Vidyalaya, where tribal girls receive vocational training. Swami Ishatmananda was the vice president of the Uttar Purvanchal Ramakrishna Vivekananda Bhava Prachar Parishad, which has 59 centers all over Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and Manipur. He has written many articles that have been published in the Ramakrishna Mission journals and other journals as well. He has given discourses on the Bhagavad Gita in different parts of Assam, extensively traveled different places of India, attended seminars, and delivered lectures at colleges, universities, and devotee congregations on spiritual ideals and ideologies. Advaita Ashram, Kolkata, has published its discourses on the Bhagavad Gita as a set of 14 DVDs. Swami Ishatmananda has translated Swami Vivekananda's book, The Mind and Its Control, to Bengali. Swamiji came to the Chicago Center in the spring of 2013. In November of the same year, he organized and conducted the Chicago Calling Program in a grand celebration of the 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. This was a hugely successful 5-day program where we saw for the first time a gathering of nearly 50 monks of the Ramakrishna order from around the world and the various states of the US. Currently, Swamiji conducts weekly lectures at the Vedanta Society on Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, on Tuesdays, and why we should meditate on Sundays. He also conducts classes on India and Turkey at the Hindu Temple of Greater Chicago, Vermont. Additionally, Swamiji conducts lectures on various topics for devotees in various locations in Illinois and across the country. With this, let us please welcome Swami Ishatmananda Maharaj.
We will chant 3 times Omkara. Then I will say one sentence, and then you will see the line over here, first sloka and fifth sloka, these two slokas, then you will begin. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Amritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Charno Ramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagat Gurum. Friends, I must congratulate this study group of this Vedanta study circle of Naperville. In a very short time, they have organized this meeting, not understanding how many people will come, so they hired this small room. Now I can see, and I am feeling sorry, many of you are standing over there. So I think if you are coming, and next time they will be hiring a little bigger room where all can sit perfectly and can listen and discuss. That we will be studying Bhagavad Gita, not reading, studying Bhagavad Gita. Why study and read? Because when we are reading, this is casual. We read newspapers, we read novels, we read so many books, we glance, we read, and then we forget. Sometimes some of the interesting books maybe we will be remembering, but study means with great interest, attention, and understanding the importance of every word, we will be reading. That's called study. So we will study the Bhagavad Gita. Now the question is, why Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in 2 sentences he said, Gita Sharbo Shastrer Shar. Gita is the essence of all scripture. Gita Purve. One must read Gita. One must study Bhagavad Gita. It's the essence of all scripture. And what is scripture? Here it says, When Sri Ramakrishna say it's the essence, what is that essence? We find that one sloka is there in the Bhagavad Gita itself. Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopalanandana, etc. Sarva Upanishado Gavo. We will be explaining. But one thing I tell you in the beginning is not a lecture for one day. It will be a long, I don't know when I am going to complete it, but it will continue. And till we continue, till we finish, we will continue. So 700 slokas. Along with that, we will be discussing different philosophy, different outlooks, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, all these viewpoints we will discuss and go on studying. So it will be better for all the interested people to purchase one books. Like this book is there. Each word has been given, the meaning of what each word has been given, and the running meaning also. So afterwards you can remember. Then the question is, what are the scripture, or what is scripture? This is a book of spiritual knowledge is called scripture. Book of spiritual knowledge. And that's why Upanishad is the book of spiritual knowledge. And what we learn from that, from the book of spiritual knowledge, what we learn? The secret of achieving peace. That is the goal of human life. Whatever we try to do, only knowingly, unknowingly, we always try to reach to that one goal, peace, which we call happiness. And whenever this Black Friday, this is the first time I heard, the Black Friday, people are running, all they are purchasing, almost the same thing they are having, again they are purchasing, but they are going on purchasing. This is good for the commerce. But why they are doing it? Because they want happiness. They are going over here, going over there. Why? Happiness. Each and everything that we do, happiness. And the happiness, when depending on the external thing, is limited. But the moment that thing is over, happiness goes. So ultimate happiness called peace. And that comes from our own self. That is the teaching the scripture gives. So how we know that Gita can provide us the knowledge of peace? In the first case, it says, because it has been said by the Narayana himself. Today I will be discussing at the beginning, and then we will go for 10 sloka of the first chapter. Narayana himself, this is a profound word, the Narayana. Who is Narayana? It says, Narayana Paro Abhyaktat. Abhyaktat means Paro Abhyaktat. Paro means higher. Abhyaktat means the primal nature from which everything has come. Beyond that, above that, Paro. Para means above, beyond, higher, is the Narayana. That means he is creating, but he is not attached with all this. He is beyond the creation. Narayana para abhyaktat andam abhyakta sambhavam. And from that primal energy, andam means this universe was created. Andasyantasthime lokaha. From that universe, all these lokaha and saptadipa cha medini. This is a wonderful way is giving the description that abhyakta means that primal nature, Narayana is higher than that, and he is the creator. And this andam means brahmandya. What is that brahmanda? Anda means egg. And from that as if this thing is coming, what is that? Brahmanda, the universe, not the earth, universe. And the creation is from the primal nature, and that has been created by the God who is called Narayana. Then from this the universe is coming. What is this universe? In the Purana it says there are 14 Bhuvana universe. 14. Look at it. I don't know how they got all this. Now they are telling this is nothing, our universe, and then beyond so many other universes are there. But the 14 universe, then Shapta-deepa. This Shapta-deepa, there also they will be explaining. They call Chatuddasha Bhuvana. This Chatuddasha Bhuvana means the 14 worlds according to Sadananda Yogi Vedanta Sara. It says Patala, Mohatala, Talatala, Rasatala, Sutala, Bitala, Atala, Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, Moha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam. This total 14, some of the words, some of the names we know. That Patala, all these names are there. There's a 14, one after another they are giving this name, and then in ancient time this earth was divided in 7 continents. And what are those continents? The 7 continents are Jammu Deepa, Jammu, then Plaksha, Shalmali, Kusha, Kroncha, Shaka, Pushkara. These are the names of the one of the continents. In the modern times there are Africa, then America, then Asia, like that. In the olden days they used to say like that. And who is this Narayana? Who is the above this? Who is creating? In Vishnu Purana it says, Apo Nara iti prokta Apo voi Narasunabha. Apo means Nara is the Vishnu. He first created water. Is the creation it is describing in the Vishnu Purana. So what is the creation? The first creation is water. Who created? Vishnu. Vishnu means Vistareti Vishnaha, who is everywhere. Someone who is everywhere is Vishnu. Unless there is a form, there is a name, the human mind cannot conceive. So when we say that everywhere the energy, everywhere the consciousness, we just hear, but we cannot form an idea. That is why they have given the form and name. So Vishnu or the Nara, what he has done? Nara iti prokta. What is that Nara? Water. Apa is the water. Hence the water is known as Nara. Ayanam tasyata purvam. The residence of Vishnu was water. Almost all the Hindus, they know the Bhagavan Vishnu, he is lying on a huge big snake floating on the water. Water is the symbol of formlessness. When there is no form, that's called water. In South India if you go, all the temples, whether inside there is an image, God or goddess or not, but in the front of the front door there will be a big chunk of stone where they are breaking hundreds of coconut. In the South Indian temples, coconut is a must, they must break it. Why coconut? Not for the coconut for eating, because of the water. But we do not know. Here also in the North India, any worship that you will do, they will have a pitcher full of water. That's a Narayana. The Narayana means water, and it has no form. So that is why the Bhagavan Vishnu is taking a form so that we can understand. That is the Narayana. This Narayana or Vishnu, also known as Bhagavan. This Vishnu, it becomes Narayana and then it becomes Bhagavan. Why slowly coming down like this? So that the people can understand something about this. Now the physicists, they are becoming the Nobel laureates. They are developing so many, and the physics also study in class 5th, 7th grades, 8 grades, 9 grades. They are also studying physics. So different grades are there. So beginning we begin with Bhagavan. Then ultimately we reach to Narayana, Vishnu. And that Vishnu, we will know afterwards, is formless. This Bhagavan created this universe and also planned how to maintain it. Only creation won't do, we have to maintain it. So Lord has created this universe and then planned how to maintain. And excellent way, Sa Bhagavan, that God, Srishtva Idam Jagat, by creating Idam, this Jagat, universe, Tasya Cha, and again, Sthitim Chikirshu, and how to maintain it. He thought about that. Then he created Dharma. That Bhagavan, that Ishvara, he created this universe, this world, with all this, and then he understood that I have to maintain. How to maintain? Dharma. And what type of dharma? Divido hi vedukta dharmaha. There are two different types of dharma. Divida means two different types. Vedukta dharma, the Veda is pronouncing about the two different types of dharma. I am not telling religion. I am only using the word dharma because by translating dharma as a religion, we cannot actually explain what we mean. Afterwards, we will understand what dharma means. Pravritti lakshana, nivritti lakshana cha. Pravritti lakshana and nivritti lakshana. These are the two lakshanas. Lakshana means, by that we can understand symbol. One is pravritti. This all external things that we see, the science, the development of the mundane world, everything is pravritti. And another is nivritti, just opposite, spiritual world. So both are necessary. Only spiritual world cannot help us. Only mundane world cannot help us. The both should go. And who created these both? Dharma, that Vishnu, that Narayana, that Bhagavan. And then we need teachers to teach the people. So he created for material progress of the mundane development, he created 7 excellent teachers. That's called Maharshi, Maharishi, the great teachers. And who are they? Marichi, then Angira, Atri, Pulasta, Pulaha, Kratu, and Vashishta. So I can suggest that if you bring the notebooks, you can note down these things. This is something very special, very wonderful things. Of course, if you write down everything, then you won't be able to sell the cassettes. So it's better that you don't do. After we will sell the cassette. So this Marichi, Angira, Atri, Pulasta, Pulaha, Kratu, and Vashishta, they are rishis. From that Gotra came. All the Hindus, they know they have Gotra, a special type. And where from it came? Because of the school. They're all teachers. And someone must have attended that school And from there the Gotra has come. Now it has become so rigid back in India. If you are not marrying in the same Gotra, then there will be terrible things will happen in the society. But they have forgotten what the Gotras are. Gotra means actually the training that we got from a particular rishi. And these rishis, they taught how to develop this worldly life. Everything they taught, including the warfares, how to fight because you have to protect, how to develop the agriculture, technology, everything they used to teach. That's why they are the rishis. And these 7, they were teaching these for the people. And then again, only that will create problem. Why I am again and again telling the balance should be maintained? The spiritual balance, at the same time development of the worldly things, both the balance are necessary. And in this modern world, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in a very funny way, he said, Khali pete dharma hoy na. In an empty stomach, you cannot practice religion. When I was coming over here, I didn't take anything in the afternoon. I was feeling hungry. Then I was thinking that is the only weakness that I am having. When I am hungry, my brain never works. So I was thinking what I am going to tell. Then suddenly I got something and a cup of coffee. Now I am fresh. I don't know about you. So this thing that we are having, this is called that Khali pete, empty stomach, you cannot practice religion. We have to develop. Look at the history of India. Why is so many people right from Europe, the Middle East, all they went to India? Why? And at the same time, India still now considered as a highly spiritual society. And we were highly developed in material also. The people used to go and they used to plunder so many tons and tons of golds and jewelries they used to take away. So wherefrom we developed? Because the both knowledge were parallel. And afterwards, because it was imbalanced, so the God came. But before that, the God, the Vishnu, the Narayana, he created 4 sannyasi to teach the spiritual knowledge. Who are those? Sanaka, Sanandan, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. You must have heard, and many of the people, they will be having this name. Sanaka, Sanandan, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. They were great sannyasins, and they taught us the spiritual knowledge. Now, due to the passage of time, every time that if you read the Shankara Bhashya of the Bhagavad Gita, the why the God is coming? Because he has to establish the Dharma. Dharma Sthapana. Every time the God is taking the incarnation, only one purpose, Dharma Sthapana. Why? Because people forget. And in every profession, in 6 months or 1 year, you will have a refresher's course, isn't it? And even the doctors, the engineers, they will have a refresher's course. And sometimes they will be telling you, particularly in the IT sectors, almost every 3 months, 6 months, they'll be having refresher's course. And for that, to give them refreshment, not only knowledge, they will have the meeting in different places so that they should not feel bored. There will be other things also. But the ultimate thing is knowledge, enhancing, enhancing, enhancing. Similarly, the spiritual knowledge also, when that is something is taught and slowly, slowly it comes down, down, people forget and they add something with that. Every teacher is adding something. They heard something and they added. Again it became something that is very peculiar. That's called adharma. Why? Because the whole concentration came on the body. The moment it comes on the body, the only development of the worldly things, imbalance comes. And that is called dharma, adharma. That to keep the balance, the God is coming. And what is dharma? Again and again we are talking about the dharma. And from every month, I think this Friday evening, we will be discussing about the Bhagavad Gita, what the Gita is teaching us, dharma and nothing else. And this dharma will be both. We will come to that. That is the excellent book. It cannot be said that is the book of the Hindus only. No. For any human being. Because of the psychology. Majority of the people, they are losing their mental balances. Why? That is the answer we get from the Bhagavad Gita. So many wonderful things that their Bhagavad Gita is teaching. That is why it is the essence of all teachings. What is dharma? According to Rishi Kanada, Kanada is the founder of Vaisheshik philosophy. We have 6 systems of Indian philosophy. Most of you know. Vaisheshik also is a very famous philosophy. And this Kanada, he is the person who actually created or developed this philosophy. Philosophy means is a way of explaining 3 things. Who is the creator? What is the creation? And what is the relation between the creator and the creation? That is the philosophy. And the Rishi Kanada, his name was Kanada, he developed one way, and that's named Vaisheshika. There he is telling what is dharma, and because this definition has been accepted by the Vedantin, Shankaracharya accepted this definition. What is that? Yato abhudaya nistreyasa siddhi sadharma. Yato, where abhudaya, the development and prosperity in the worldly life, nistreyasa, development in the spiritual life, siddhi, gate, that is called dharma. So we have to keep in mind, because many of the people, they will be constantly criticizing the Hindu dharma, the Sanatana dharma, the Vedic dharma. Because of the dharma, people are not working at all and they are lazy, and that's why we are poor. Everybody is pointing finger to the dharma. Is it? Look at it. We are lazy because so many other things are there. Because of the weather, because of the condition, we were so well off. Why should we work? The rich people, why they go for the work? That's why that so many other things are there. But here they say yato, where abhudaya and nistreyesha. Not only nistreyesha, nistreyesha means spiritual development. Abhudaya means mundane development. So both are achieved, and that is called dharma. Purva Mimamsha, they say dharma means inspiration, perona. Purva Mimamsha, they say perona, they give inspiration. Charai beti, oh, don't desert and be, do not need not to be. You will be achieving something great. In our e-magazine in the Vedanta Society, Vivekananda Vedanta Society, Chicago, we always put a magazine every 3 months. And there, one section is there, arise, awake, and stop not. There we collect different type of stories, real stories, of the people who are not having anything almost, but successful again. Because of the tremendous mental power. This time, the story goes, the one lady was not having legs and both the hands. She was driving, she was flying the flight. Aeroplane. Tremendous mental power. And that is the only power a human being should achieve, so that he can get the everything. Yato abhudaya nistreyasa siddhihi sadharma, according to Vaisheshik. Purvamimangsha says, inspiration, it is chodana, perana. Nyaya says, dharma is the qualities of the people or the material. Agama Shastra, Agama Nigama, that is the scripture of the Tantra. They say dharma means Atma Jnana. Atma and Jnana, that is called dharma. And in the Gita, again, it different way, different meaning, they have used the word dharma. Dharma sammudha chetaha. In the first chapter, the Arjuna will say, I am dharma sammudha cheta. I am confused. Why? That we will read now. And now why should we read Gita? The first, it has been said, it has been propounded by the Narayana himself. And the Narayana, he took the form of Krishna. Secondly, the knowledge of Gita has been read and practiced in their lives by thousands and thousands of great souls. Swami Vivekananda carried only one book all through his life, that is Bhagavad Gita. And then he knew that we won't be able to read 700 slokas. Oh my God, 700 slokas? I don't have time. That's why he said only read one sloka, and that will be sufficient for you. Klaibyam masmagamo partha naitat tayupapadyate shudram hridaya durvallam tattva uttishta parantapa. That was Swami Vivekananda. He suggested only one sloka, because he was suggesting this to the Indians. Because that time India was under the subjugation of the Britishers, he wanted to inspire them for many things. And the Gita is considered as one of the famous book in Prasthana Traya. All these doors here they write exit. And similarly, in the aircraft also, the first thing they will tell, the moment the craft is taking the running, then they will say, the first thing they will show, there are 6 exits, there are 3 exits, some almost 6 always, more than that. Exit is necessary, first thing. We enter, but then we must know from where we should go out. Suppose suddenly it goes off and it's all dark, that will burn, and we know this is the way we can go out. And in the religious life also, in this world life also, we have come over here. Why? That answer we will get afterwards from the Bhagavad Gita. And now they say there are 3 exits. Shruti exit, Shruti Prasthana, that is Upanishad. Then Smriti Prasthana, that is Bhagavad Gita. Yukti Prasthana, Brahma Sutra. Tomorrow I am going to speak on Brahma Sutra at Hindu temple. That's called Yukti Prasthana. They will be giving the arguments why we should. This Prasthana means from what? To where? To my original abode. Where I am now. I am just a tourist. I am visiting this world, but this is not my own home. I have to go back to my real self. But how? That these 3 books will say. Shruti Prasthana, Smriti Prasthana, this Bhagavad Gita. And this begins with, we will read a few slokas, the first chapter. Yeah. We have already did the Dhyanam, Gita Dhyanam, Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata. Next class we will discuss over that again. But the whole thing happened in a warfield. That is very peculiar. Usually religion means in a secluded place where there is no disturbances, then only they will talk about religion. But our based religion that was given to a warrior and who was going to kill people, was going to fight, the Arjuna. And who said? Narayana, the God himself. Where? On the warfield, battlefield. There all people are getting ready to kill each other. At that time, they are telling the highest philosophy. Why? That is the teaching. This is nothing. When you go to the offices, when you go to the business, when we are working, when you are studying, we say, how can we practice religion because we are all so busy? Arjuna was more busy than us, all of us. A little mistake, he will die. So he was so busy. And Krishna is telling him the highest philosophy. What is that highest philosophy? Perform your duty with all attention, but keep your mind on me. That is Dharma. But it begins with a inquiry. Who is asking question? A blind king. Why he is blind? Physically he is blind, you know the Mahabharata. But who is this blind king? Dhritarashtra. He is holding a kingdom, Dhritarashtra. And he is blind. Because that blindness will come because of the attachment. Because of the attachment, the blindness comes. I cannot see good if I am attached. If I am attached to my country, my nation, my religion, my language, I cannot see good in others. You will see. The Indians in everything they will say, our country, you do not know, it is so good. But if you ask him to go back to India, well, not in this life. And this is so much of attachment. It's good in one sense, but at the same time, we have to keep our mind open to accept others. This attachment means blindness. This Dhritarashtra is a blind king. And he is asking, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Please recite it me. Samaveta yujutsabha. Mamaka pandavaschaiva. Kima kurbata sanjaya. At the first chapter is called Arjuna Bishada Yoga. The religion begins with melancholy. I am having everything, but I am not satisfied. If you are satisfied, you can never come to religion. Some dissatisfaction. Sometimes some people, they are dissatisfied for temporary reason. But again they will be satisfied. If I go to my relatives, if I go to my friends, I am not getting proper attention, I am dissatisfied, I don't have any friends, nobody likes me, loves me, so I become a monk. No, he won't be for a long time. Then afterwards, if anybody comes, oh, I love you, then immediately you go. So that way it cannot be. So this is called melancholy, means he has understood the folly. What this thing? All this is nothing. I have got name, fame, money, all things, but still this cannot give me the satisfaction. Why? So that is called melancholy. Arjuna was very powerful. He was the hero. But even then, he knew that he is going to win in the battle. And he prepared himself for 12, 14 years. And he got as a guide, Bhagavan Swayam. Even then he was thinking, not necessary, what I am going to achieve with this. That melancholy came, but it was a temporary melancholy. So afterwards we will find. And when the Arjuna Bishada Yoga, when the Bishada, that comes in the mind, then yoga means attachment with God comes. And it begins with Dhritarashtra Uvacha. When we read like this. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yujutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya Sanjay Uvacha. That Uvacha means said. Drishtva tu Pandava Nikam Budham Durjadhanastada Acharyam Upasamgamya Raja Vachanam Abravit Pashvaitan Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Budham Drupadaputrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yujudhana Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha Drishtaketuschakitana Kashi Rajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhoyascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha Yudha Manuscha Vikranta Uttamojascha Viryavan Saubhadra Daupadi Ascha Sarva Eva Maharatha Ashmakam tu Vishishtae Tanni Bodha Dijottama Nayaka Mama Sainyasya Sangarthantan Brabhimite Annecha Bahava Shura What is that? Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayaha Ashwathvama Vikarnascha Saumadattistathaivacha Annecha Bahava Shura Madarte Takta Jibitaha Nana Shastra Praharana Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha Aparyaptam Tadashmakam Balam Bhishma Virakshitam Paryaptam Tidame Tesham Balam Bhima Virakshitam. Today we will read up to this and we will conclude with one sloka, that is the last sloka of the Dhyana Yoga. Gita Dhyana, the last one. Then you can ask a question. If you have some question, we can have a little question answer. All the meanings and the description in the next class we will describe in this way, and very interesting. What is the meaning of Srimad? And what is the meaning of Bhagavan? What is the meaning of Sanjaya? Like this, each and every word that has been used over here, every word is having a profound meaning. And when you understand that meaning, we can understand why the Sanjaya, he was blessed by the Vyasadeva to see, sitting from a long distance, everything that was happening in the Kurukshetra. And what is Kurukshetra actually? Why Kurukshetra is so holy? Even today, thousands of people will go to that Kurukshetra. Why it is so holy? All these things we will discuss, and slowly we will proceed. This last sloka is the prayer to God. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Nabidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. I salute to that God who has no end, and whom each and every one, all the gods of the Vedic age, they were praising. Vedas, they were praising. The rishis and the yogis, they were trying to meditate within their hearts. I bow down to that God. From personal to impersonal. We are studying the Bhagavan, that is Krishna, and the Krishna is explaining, is a personal God. And from the Vishnu, Rama and Krishna avatar. And those who are worshipping Rama and Krishna, they are Vaishnava. It's a sect that has developed. But who is actually that God? That Vishnu, that Rama, that Krishna? Who? The God who is having no end. And that is all everywhere. This is the beauty of Hinduism. This is the speciality of the Sanatana Dharma. From the personal God to the absolute, everywhere. Friends, again we will meet in the, I think they will announce in the next class, but if you have any question, we started actually 5 minutes late, so we can take another 5 minutes to complete the 1 hour class. So if you have any question, can please ask. Question related to this. Yeah, please.
Pranam Swamiji, thank you for coming to Naperville. We are very honored and privileged. I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone here when I say that we are really, really glad that you have come here amongst our community to share your wisdom with us, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would just like to know if you have any suggestions as to how we can get the most out
there any follow-up, anything, what are some things that we can do? Thank you.
I think there will be the study circle, they are recording it and they will be putting in their website. So all this. So if you are studying Gita, just first 10 sloka or 5 slokas, you study that book as we are teaching over here with the same tune. This is the tune of the Belur Math. When we were in training center, they used to teach us in this tune. There are so many other tunes that they are mostly in a musical way, they will be singing. But here, stress is given on the words. And along with a little musical, so that people can remember it. And then every time we'll be explaining each and every word. Our progress may be a little slow, but that doesn't matter. So we are not hurrying to complete the book, because nobody is going to take any exam. So that we have to complete this and then. So not like that. So that way, slowly we will study and there will be a question answer. By that we will be benefit. But the main thing, one Swami, he is the direct disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. His name was Turiyananda. He came to America also. He used to read one sloka of Bhagavad Gita and used to meditate on that. And you fully complete the Bhagavad Gita. It takes only 2 hours to 2.5 hours to complete the 700 slokas. That means it took nearly 45 minutes to 1 hour for the Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, to tell it to Arjuna. Not it is a long time, all suspended, no war should go on till I complete, not like that. They were conversing in that way, it was fast. Now, that one sloka, he is meditating. Here in the first chapter, his only description is going on. Nothing much of the philosophy. Second chapter, highest philosophy. Why? Because the Lord speaks over there. The first chapter, who is speaking mostly? Arjuna. The description, and then the Arjuna is telling. And who is Arjuna? We. Not knowing anything, we say so many things and write books also. And one person, just a fun, he has written a book. Now he is pressing on me, you sell that book and you will get lot of money and you can run your ashrama. I said, why? You better sell that book and give that money to me. So not only that we are talking about religion, we are writing books on that, nothing wrong in it, but we should not force to sell it. But the main thing, meditate on that. So if you really want to get the benefit of Gita, you have to meditate on the slokas. Each word. Why these? The Sanjaya means who has overcome his senses. The person who has overcome his senses, that means he is a yogi. And suddenly someone, even if the God is coming and asking him that I can give you the boon, he won't be able to receive it because he is not ready. So Sanjaya was already a yogi. So this way we will go. Any other question? Don't feel shy. I'm very frank.
Many times religious people feel the need to reconcile the present scientific knowledge with what is written in our scriptures. When we talk about 7 continents or 14 worlds, do you feel that we need to we must reconcile the two, or is it okay to have those two parallel scientific knowledge?
See, the science is a knowledge of the external world. And naturally, one Purana is telling that, describing the world, this Chatur Dharma, all these things. It has nothing to do with that. If we accept, it's okay. But the thing is, we wonder how in those days, if they were not having any idea about the world, how they could understand this. That is the wonder. That there are so many things, but the peculiar things, once again, all the importance was given on spiritual knowledge. So majority of the people didn't record those things. Why they are telling like this, how they got this 14th world and all these things. If they had written, it could be useful. But anyway, I am giving you this information because it was created in this fashion, that way. That is the. Sometimes some people, you know that in Bengal there is a debate. Why the famous Rabindranath and Vivekananda, they were almost in the same time, and they were born and brought up in the same area in Calcutta, and why they were not friends? Why they didn't say about themselves? That's a wrong question. Vivekananda was a sannyasi. His all through outlook was totally different. Rabindranath was a householder. His outlook was totally different. And he was writing poetry, poems and all. That's great, very good. But the ideas must be different. So my brother and my ideas, it differs. When they say there is a problem in our property, some people are grabbing, why you bother about that? Give that to that person. And then what do you say? We cannot give. So my view, give it over there. But his view, no, we have to hold it because after me, my son should get it. So the view is totally different, though we are brothers. And Rabindranath, so the differences are similarly, science is talking about the external world, and they are perfect in that. But when the science says there is no God, that is wrong. How do you prove that there is no God? Unless and until you can prove, you cannot say no. And when religion said, no, the earth is only static and everything is rotating, then after a few thousands of years afterwards they say, we are sorry. So what is it? So you have nothing to do with that. So that is the reason we must keep in this conception very clear. We are discussing about our spiritual knowledge. Correct. Okay. Anything? Yeah.
Swamiji, maybe you will address this question later on, but is it the right time to ask what is Smriti and Shruti? What is the difference?
Which is Shruti means those who were hearing it and remembering it. That is called Veda. And Veda means Veda, but that's called Veda, knowledge. And so many varieties of knowledge, not only spiritual knowledge, all sort of knowledge. So it's called Veda. And Veda Anta means end. The last knowledge, that's spiritual knowledge. And that's why Upanishad is only enshrined with that end of knowledge. So that's why when they say Vedanta, they indicate Upanishads. This is all incorporated in the Veda itself, the Upanishads. And these knowledge, they used to tell to their students and they used to ask them not to write it down. And then Westerners, they say those people, they were not having the knowledge of writing. Wrong. They could conceive so many things and they never developed the writing, not that. Even today, the initiation, when we give initiation, you know the initiation, that means the mantra diksha, we ask our disciples not to write the mantra. You have to keep in mind. Why? You should be attentive. The moment you are writing it down, you forget. One of our Swamis used to tell, I never forget anything. Whatever they say, I always note down. Only one thing I forget, the piece of paper where I write. So that way, so that means when I am writing, that means I am not attentive to that. The Shruti means they used to remember. And they developed a wonderful faculty. They used to remember long, long passages. Swami Vivekananda, in the very modern time, He used to listen and he used to remember. So we will discuss about this. And smriti means that they, from their own thought, smarana, they develop this. That's called Bhagavad Gita, smriti. So Shruti is the Veda, smriti is the Gita. Gita is from Upanishad. Most of the slokas, ideas from Upanishad, but at the same time is from the mind. So that's called. And they say the Shruti, Veda, it was not only someone's intellectual knowledge. It was directly realized knowledge. That's called Shruti. Okay then, let us say 3 times Om, and then 1 second we'll quietly sit and then go.